Zuni says, do you think a PhD is necessary for industry roles in machine learning engineering? No, I do not think they are necessary. I don't think they've been necessary for a while now. The time for PhD requirements in data science has come and gone. You know, maybe you could have said that was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. But it hasn't really been a requirement since then. It just hasn't. You know, the irony is that a lot of these dedicated masters and machine learning, AI, whatever degrees have really only come along just quickly, recently. And they've come along just quickly enough where the people graduating with those degrees are finding that it's no longer necessary, right? So in a way, I think those people kind of got the short end of the stick. Because also keep in mind that when I'm saying, maybe you needed a PhD 8 years ago, it wasn't a data science or machine learning PhD. It was mostly a math PhD or like a physics PhD or something like that, right? Because the programs didn't exist back then. The master's programs didn't exist back then, right? They were just starting to come on board, right? So no, Zuni, I don't think it's necessary. It's even less necessary given the rise of AI, right? Because now there's very few things that the PhD brings to the table that can't be resolved with a combination of AI tools in a much shorter amount of time, right? So not only has the time passed because the software tools and the knowledge has gotten better, but it's also, and I mean that just by people itself, by the standard libraries itself, right? Those alone have gotten better, is what I'm saying, right? And then on top of that, in the last 2 years, right, generative AI has come to the forefront. So on top of that, it becomes even less important because even the most experienced professionals that don't have the PhDs can fill in the knowledge gaps with generative AI. Or you have people who are non-coders that are able to generate their own answers with generative AI, right? Finally, I want you guys to keep this in mind because, this isn't something I've shared a lot, but the reality is that when you get out into the workforce and you start looking at some of like the actual problems and questions that people will bring to you, they're not that difficult. They do not require a PhD level of knowledge for like the majority of the problems that you're going to face. They simply don't. I use a fraction of what I learned in my graduate studies, like a fraction of what I learned. What you really use more are the communication skills, the people management, the project management, the team leadership. I mean, you're going to use those like not even 10 times, but 50 times more than you're going to use like those nuanced things that you might learn in even in a master's program. So Zuni, I hope that gives you an idea. But if you've seen some of my other content, I know it's your first time here, but if you've seen some of my other content, I'm not big on the people that put an overemphasis on the math, put an overemphasis on the courses and make data science more complicated than it is, because it's really not that complex. You got to have skills, but they're not math skills, they're mostly people skills, right?